everyone, we're going to be discussing a new video game today called Spellbreak. If you haven't seen much of this game, it's because it's still in an alpha state. I believe it's closed alpha, and there was a non-disclosure agreement where players who were taking part in this alpha were not able to disclose information about the game. However, on February 12th, 2019, they lifted the non-disclosure agreement, allowing people to create videos to show the general public. That's what I'm doing right now. I really enjoy this game. It's a battle royale game in which players embody spellcasters called breakers. Now today we're going to be going through the user interface because I do plan on posting gameplay videos. I just want everyone to understand the interface and what's going on around them. Later on I'll post in-depth guides to gear pieces, classes, etc. Before we get into all that, we'll just stick with the interface and walk through it. We're going to start at the top of our screen with the in-game compass, and we're going to make our way counterclockwise back up to that position, describing each section of our user interface as we go. We're starting out with the compass. It's located in the center of your screen at the very top. Similar to other compasses found in Battle Royale games such as Apex or Fortnite, this compass is used to call out enemy positions, call out your own positions, navigate your way through the map, and respond to enemy positions or friendly positions called out by friendly players. Next, we'll briefly discuss player classes and how they show up on your user interface. If you look directly beneath that compass we just talked about, next to my character, there is something that says press B to choose a class. Players will be presented with this option as soon as they enter a game. If I go ahead and press B, a menu will show up with all the classes I can select. Now, I highly recommend waiting until you know what type of gauntlet you'll be rocking throughout the game because a lot of these classes are elementally specific. As you can see, there's Conduit, Frostborn, Pyromancer, Stone Shaper, Tempest, and Toxicologist, which have to do with the elemental gauntlets, and they influence the way you play with them. They can add secondary effects or increase damage, lots of things. So I do recommend waiting until you know what gauntlet you have to select those classes. However, there are other classes that have nothing to do with the elements, like Bulwark, Crackshot, Scavenger, Scholar, and Zealot. If you know you're going to be picking one of those, you can go ahead and pick it at the beginning of the match without any worry. Now, each class has 4 traits. Upon picking a class, you will unlock the first trait, which is always a passive ability. In order to unlock the succeeding traits, you need to invest skill points into each class. Now, you get skill points in 3 different. Next, we'll talk about status bars. In this game, players use mana to cast spells. You cast spells with your left and right hands with the left and right mouse button respectively. I'm going to go ahead and cast some spells and deplete my mana so you guys can see what it looks like. As you can see, if I waste all my mana, I am punished with a replenishment period, which effectively acts as a reload. Beneath the mana status bar, there is a red health bar. Generally speaking, players start off with 100 health at the beginning of every match. However, this number can change based on items that the player is holding or traits they have selected in their specific classes. Now let's talk about gauntlets. There are no weapons in this game. However, there are gauntlets which carry elemental powers. Players use these gauntlets to change their regular spells into elemental spells. Upon fire off my frost ability, since it's in my left hand, I'm going to go ahead and press the left mouse button. The Frost Gauntlet also acts like a sniper in this game, where if you hold it down long enough, it zooms in and does massive damage. You can also jump in the air, slow down time, zoom in, and hit the person. The Fire Gauntlet looks like so. It throws an explosive shot at nearby enemies. It also does splash damage. Let me see if I can get it. There you go. Now you have the Sorcery Abilities. You use your Sorcery Abilities by pressing a Q and E button for the left and right gauntlet respectively. I'm going to go ahead and show you the Frost ability using the Q button. As you can see, there's a zone around me. Upon release, I freeze everything in that area. Now I'll show you the Fire ability. Since it's in my right hand, I can activate it by pressing the E key. As you can see, it puts up a wall of fire. Now what's really cool about this game is how the elements interact with each other. I'll show you by putting up a firewall. Now I still have my Frost Gauntlet equipped, and by shooting a shot of frost at the firewall, I can extinguish the fire. Moreover, if I shoot a fireball at the ice, I melt it. Now I'm going to go ahead and equip my Electricity Gauntlet. Now you see there's a puddle of water on the floor here. If I shoot it, look at that. How awesome is that? Another cool combination of elements that's worthy of being shown is poison and fire. I'm going to go ahead and throw out a poisonous cloud using my Q ability. Follow up by shooting a fireball at it. You have a volatile explosion leaving you with some dragon fire. Next we're going to discuss runes. As you can see, there's a circle between my left and right sorcery abilities. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this flight rune. That circle has now been filled in. Upon picking up a rune, you have to wait for a short cooldown before you use it. Runes are on-use abilities that come with cooldowns. They are very powerful. They have a range of effects. Depending on what rune you have, it can change the dynamic of your gameplay. We just picked up a flight rune. I'm going to go ahead and open my inventory and hover over it. So the flight rune allows you to take flight for 4 seconds. Interrupted by damage or colliding with something. Can be cancelled with a jump. Now you can activate your runes by pressing the R button. I'm going to go ahead and activate mine to show you what it looks like. And there I am, flying around for 4 seconds, and if I jump, it cancels the effect. Next, I will briefly discuss gear options in this game and how they are represented in your user interface. As you can see, directly above the sorcery and rune icon abilities on the lower left side of my screen, there are 3 squares. These squares from left to right represent pieces of gear, including your amulet, belt, and boots. Every piece of gear in this game has passive abilities connected to them that either directly increase a player's strength, casting speed, or resistances, or add passive abilities like the ability to walk silently or jump an extra time. Now we'll discuss the backpack. If you look on the lower left side of the screen, directly beneath the icons for your sorcery abilities and your rune, you will see slots 1 to 4. This represents the user's inventory. You can toggle your inventory by pressing the tab button. From here, you can re-navigate items in your backpack or drop items from your backpack. For example, if I feel more comfortable with my fire gauntlet on my left hand so I can use the left mouse button, all you have to do is click and drag it, and they're swapped. If I don't like the fact that I have these boots inside of my backpack, I can just click it and drop it out. You can also equip items from your backpack onto your current player. You can do this by pressing the hotkey associated with the backpack slot. As you can see, I have boots in slot 1, so if I press the 1 keybind, I'll equip those boots. And there you have it again. Players can also toggle their map by pressing the M button. If you press the M button, a large picture of your map will show up on screen. This helps you navigate the map. You can also pinpoint areas in the map by right-clicking anywhere. This is helpful when telling teammates where you want to go next or where you want to land. Finally, we'll discuss basic gameplay mechanics and player abilities at the beginning of every match. When the match starts, no player has gear. Without any gauntlets equipped, your spells are pretty generic, pink in nature, and are limited in damage and range. They are represented as such. As far as movement goes, players are able to crouch and walk, sprint, and jump 2 times in the air. Well everyone, that's all I have for you today. I really do hope this video gave you a deeper understanding about the user interface so you can better follow me and other players you watch play Spellbreak. I'll be posting more in-depth overviews of the gear that you can get, their passive effects and rarities, gauntlets that you can receive, all of their elemental properties and how they interact with each other, as well as runes that you can equip and their effects. If you're interested in seeing those videos or you like this one, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.